Trigger warning. This game contains mentions and explanations of sexual content, violence, abuse, addiction, and self-harm. Listener discretion is advised.
The Rancor's Brothel presents Berlin, the Wicked City. Act 3. Schreckfilm.
And why did that particular woman have this set of documents? It doesn't make any sense.
Unless it's one of these two other women.
You got a good look at the woman who bumped into you. You did not recognize her in any of the photographs.
Yeah, well, people look different from trauma. Hello, look at my sister.
She did.
She did now, but she did not look the same.
So I feel like if we're interested in what this person was trying to get after with this information, we could go talk to Inspector Krieg.
Pause. Are we literally not going to talk about what happened in Berlin?
Well,
We're like, we got this dossier. We can
We
forget
straight
about the
up
cat
need
man.
to talk about Cat Lady thing.
okay, fair enough. Do you have a dark room? Or,
You go back at your place and do
yeah.
it. Like overnight.
No, unfortunately not.
Doesn't have a bathroom. Of course, he doesn't have a dark room.
It's not even a real apartment. Just a box.
Cardboard box on the street.
It's like a train car or something.
We're going boxcar children style, y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would say you would not have that photograph in hand to show Adalaide until next day.
Okay.
Yeah. In which case you will
but-
roll sand when you see it.
Dottie would describe it to Adalaide first.
Yeah.
Sounds horrifying.
It's the worst.
And there were more of them, right?
Well, we heard human meowing.
Meow.
No, that's a meow meow. He meows
sorry.
like, meow,
Yeah.
Meow.
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 Now, do you have
I'm
your,
meowing here.
Now, do you have your driver's license and registration right now?
Meow.
Right meow.
Okay, so weird,
So when...
cat thing.
So just for timeline purposes, when does the chaos in Berlin, like, are we moving on from this? Like, or is it still chaotic in Berlin? Are we afraid to go outside? Like, what's the deal?
Yeah.
What's the fallout of it?
Did the fog dissipate?
Yeah.
By next, like when the sun finally begins to crest, it does start to fade out some, yeah.
What do the streets look like?
Like LA just won the Super Bowl. I
That's
don't know. I don't
Philadelphia.
know sports. Yeah. Like seriously, like that's what it was like. It was like a riot after a sports team had won a major championship.
Are there any...
The problem is
like,
you have no idea what really started it or who started it.
Right.
There are broken windows
Dead
that have
people?
probably been boarded up.
Yeah, do we know that?
Oh, is the cat body still there?
Oh.
There are no reports in the papers the next morning about a cat thing. You do find that maybe a couple people were very severely injured, but no deaths.
Is the cat body still there?
Yeah, if we go back to that alley.
You do not find a cat body.
Blood?
You do see blood, but no cat body.
How does the finger that my buddy here cut off look?
Same.
So still just looks like nothing. It looks like a normal decaying tissue. Nothing funky about it.
Yeah,
Someone had
like
to
if
come
you're
through.
asking if it like reverted to human, no.
No, I'm not asking like if it reverted to human, but like did it mummify? Did it
no.
crystallize? Did it anything?
I mean, are you freezing it? I don't know what you're doing to keep it.
Well, I
assume it's in a bag or something.
I was
but-
just thinking I had it in a handkerchief, and then I probably tossed that handkerchief, wrapped it in a new one, and put it in the icebox.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you're preserving it, it's
Next to
preserved.
the milk.
No
You
problem.
have an ice box, but not a shower.
I mean,
Priorities.
icebox is in like, yeah, just a tiny little
Man's
thing.
got to eat.
Yeah,
Man
those
does not
frozen
have a
pizzas,
shower.
man.
It's all booze and frozen pizza.
So if there's still blood on the ground,
It's dried now, congealed, but yeah.
does it look like the body had been dragged? Are there blood droplets going somewhere? I mean, something moved this body.
Not that you can tell.
Unless.
Yeah, tracking.
Is that a skill?
Track is a skill.
I have
10%, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, ooh! I'm burning 2 luck. I got a 12.
Ooh.
You do notice like a bit of a drag mark, as if something or someone may have pulled it short ways, and then it disappears. It could have been lifted up off the ground. and carried,
Okay.
So
in which
someone came
case-
through and cleaned up
In which case, the drag marks would have stopped.
the evidence.
Possible.
What direction is it dragged?
Just somewhere down. There's only 2 directions in the alleyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I wanted, like, if it had been dragged,
Is
like,
it dragging?
to the wall and then...
No,
was
not towards the
lifted
wall.
up.
It would have been
Okay.
towards one of the exits of the
Extreme.
alleyway.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to put you at daybreak. I don't know. It's the winter, so that would be about 8 o'clock maybe. So it's about 8 o'clock, the first of the year, 1932.
It was like 1922. We reverted back 10 years.
20,
What
I
happened?
think 22 was literally when you started. No, 32. 10 years since your first excursion.
I feel old.
Well, 10 years since your guys' first excursion.
Yeah.
You're older.
Oh.
Where to from here?
So I was wondering, we have that odd monogrammed business card. I'm sorry. So what if we kill 2 birds or 2 cats with 1 stone and go see this Alistair fellow you've heard of and ask him about the cats, but also maybe get a read on him beyond his knowledge of the occult?
Sure, where would you find him?
So, how did you say we just know who knew Aleister Crowley when they made the roll?
You just know of Aleister Crowley within the occult circle.
Okay. I'm not likely. Is anyone likely to?
There's
be
a
able to
phone
come?
number on the back of it, though.
Oh, that's the phone number?
That's how phone numbers
Hey,
were
what's
written back
that?
then. But that is the back of that is a phone number. That's how phone numbers were written back then.
Okay.
Very short numbers.
So Dottie will just be like, well, why don't we just call the number, which was 2113.
Can we call from my house so I can start developing that picture? Because if we go talk to Aleister Crowley, I'd like to have a picture to show him.
Yeah.
Fair point.
I just don't know. I'm just not sure that Aleister Crowley is the way to start. I feel like Aleister Crowley
I feel like
is who you
that's
go
a
to.
personal out-of-game decision. Because you wouldn't know
That's true.
how fucked up he is.
Well, not
in
only
real-
that,
in the
yeah,
game.
because I'm like,
But okay, if he knows of Aleister Crowley, he knows.
Yeah,
that
what
Aleister
do I know
Crowley
of
is-
his reputation?
You just know that he is very high in the echelon of occult members.
right. And if you look at all the other clues that we actually have, that's really the only, like, quote unquote lead
Yes, it's true.
we have.
I just would prefer to go to him with more information.
I don't think that's true at all. There's, 6 clues in there?
Yes, there are 6 clues. There are 6 people that we don't know, essentially.
A tower we've
Are you
probably
sure?
all seen in our lives.
Because you're like literally in a photograph with him.
I understand that. But this is we have a phone number.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't we call it?
I still feel like we need to go see Krieg. Because
yeah.
if we
We can
roll
go see
up and
Krieg.
he's acting all weird,
Yeah.
We can
like,
go see Krieg.
oh, you guys saw me when I had my ball gag in.
We can go
and
see Krieg.
wait, he's the inspector, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And we could ask him about that case because obviously it was important
Yeah.
to somebody.
So you want to call Crowley?
I think I would prefer to go to Krieger first. Go to Krieger.
I'm down with that.
Find out if Krieger remembers this picture with us, so then we can gauge, like, did we forget? Does he remember? And then
I was gonna say we gotta watch out because we can't just like flash this photo in front of him.
no. Just like Austin said, judge like how he acts around us, if he acts
That is fair.
normal or not, and then go to Crowley.
That is fair. I just don't want us to walk in and be like, "What the fuck is this?" and throw the picture down and be like, because we don't want him to lose sand,
No.
So
Oh yeah, and we can ask him about the murder in the library
especially
too,
since he's the dogged, the gimp in the photo.
and could put us
Lucas-
all in jail.
Yeah.
yeah.
Would Friedrick recognize the background more than I do?
That was part of a roll earlier. Nobody got.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We dumb as hell.
It's a very difficult role to succeed in. So, so then you're gonna go to the police station now.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
I noticed that there are a lot of what seems to be schmooges on here.
Those are literally my fingerprints.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just I didn't know if that
When
was a part of it where we could actually do like.
I mean, it is
testing.
kind of, it's not aged, but it's like, it's clearly been handled a lot.
Yeah.
But when I printed it, I let it dry for a little bit, and then I went to trim it. I have like a little tiny paper guillotine, and I took my fingers off of it, and it was like coming off of my hand. I was like, "Fuck!" I didn't let it sit long enough.
Now I'm wondering if this lady dropped this in front of us on purpose.
It's like, oops,
Oopsie.
I mean, oops.
I dropped my folder of clues.
Let me pick us up. Or so is everybody going together, or you're gonna stay and develop your picture? Like, what do you want to do?
How long's the picture going to take to develop?
Don't split the party.
I don't know. Roll an art photography roll. I'm sure you got photography.
Oh, 100.
You're stumbling.
I inhale all of those darkroom fumes.
Remembering my days of doing darkroom photography, it could take about an hour to do a photo. It's taking you a little longer for some reason.
Okay.
I would prefer not to split the party, so I think we'll just chill out and wait with Friedrick.
Okay. I'll say it takes about 3 hours. You're having problems. Maybe you didn't have the right chemicals and had to go buy some or something. Just something was causing a bit of a lag. Which would put us at 11 o'clock.
Okay. To the inspector.
You arrive at said police station. The inspector's not in.
I would ask like when he will be back, when they expect him.
I'm not sure. Inspector Krieg hasn't really been around much these days. He's pushing retirement, I think, and is trying to distance himself from a lot of cases, handing them off to other people, that sort of thing. Is there anything else I can help you with?
No, we actually had questions about an older case that he covered. Do you know if you know? I don't. Do you know where he lives?
Do you know where he haunts? What bars he tends
Where
to
he
go
frequents.
to?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm sorry. I'm just a receptionist here.
Well, I mean, it is.
Yeah, saying that to a receptionist, Dottie would just look at her and be like, like,
do you know of the cases he passed off? Was one of them the murder in the library, or is that one he was able to solve before he?
It was the murder
Library.
of who? It was the murder of.
I don't recall one from a library. When did this occur?
26.
Ref
Oh wow,
Schneider.
you're going way back. I can check or have somebody check archives to see if it was ever solved or if it was handed off.
That would
Yeah,
be
They
that
would
would
take
be
some
great.
time.
so helpful. Thank you.
So we'll just say it takes about an hour to get through archives. Nothing's computerized, obviously. Case is cold. It was never passed off to anyone else, but it is cold.
Any notes on the case?
Not really.
Okay.
Any leads were just sort of dead ends.
We'd like to give the detective a ring, if that's possible. Do you have his direct number?
What's your credit ratings?
50. Also,
30.
I'm an alienist who's probably worked with police before.
I'll give you that. I think I gave you that the first time we played.
Yeah.
Yeah. She can give you a phone number.
Okay. Dope.
Vielen Dank.
Else?
Did she give us access to the files
No.
on that? Okay.
No.
We could just call a switchboard and see if they have this Detective Krieger's house number, couldn't we?
I think we just got the direct.
They can't legally give you someone's address.
No, they can't give you the address, but you can call them.
She just gave you the number.
Oh, sorry, missed that.
So
Hey,
yeah.
Did we look at the picture that Austin developed? That Friedrick developed?
Oh yeah. After a while, yeah. Roll sand for me.
Okay.
You guys have already seen it.
Yeah.
Who's on top of me?
Oh, I got it. I'm like, this is a cat.
Yeah, I believe it was 0 for a success, but it is disgusting and it's something you've never seen before in your life.
Do I
it's
do I
not
look
a
good
cat.
in the picture? Did
I
I
like
hit
the
the angle?
eyebrow.
Oh, thank you. That was Friedrich's idea.
The angle is excellent.
He's like, "Oops, cats."
Dottie is like, seriously? That thing attacked me. She like pulls down her like to show her shoulders. Like
she's got some claw marks and shit. Yeah. She definitely got some claw marks.
Friedrick dispatched it quite admirably.
You probably still have a pounding headache. You got knocked out.
Oh,
twice.
yeah. Dottie is less than amused by your guys' photographs.
Where to now?
I like to imagine there's one where we put the body back on Dottie, and Charles, you're like trying to fight it off. Like pose, Dice just looks pissed.
Dottie, stop moving!
Dottie's just
You're
like laying on
ruining
the
the
ground
photo.
like...
Guys, we were just bragging about how we've been able to stay on track.
Well,
I'm gonna bring
It's
us
gonna get
back
worse
only
when
in.
the
so
food
much
gets
I can
here.
do.
Where to? Yeah, I will put you now around 1 o'clock.
Well, we probably want to go somewhere to call Krieger and see if he'd be willing to meet with us.
Fantastic idea.
Yeah.
So you call the number.
Yes.
Bring, bring.
The voice that answers did not sound like Krieger, but it has been quite a few years.
What does it sound like?
Groggy, gruff, older.
Who called?
I did.
All right. So you got to interact with Krieger.
No.
You hear this low, what's the word I want to use? Almost melancholy voice.
Good afternoon. I was looking to speak with Detective Krieger.
What for?
I am an old colleague of his, and I was hoping to follow up on a case.
What case?
It's an old one. 1926, there was a young man murdered in a library.
There's a pause on the other end for a moment, and the voice suddenly gets a little more sinister as the response is, maybe you should just give it back, and then hangs up.
So, how did it go?
It didn't go well, I would say. He didn't seem to enjoy me bringing up this murder, and
You're not even sure who you spoke
Right.
to be honest.
the man on the phone, and said, "Why don't I just give it back?" And then hung up.
Give what back?
Give what back?
Your guess is as good as mine.
So, they said in the article that they weren't sure if anything was stolen, correct?
Right, because there were thousands.
So
volumes.
maybe he's referencing something stolen?
So, yeah. He might know that something was stolen.
I wonder, so it's...
Why would he
it's-
assume that I was the one who took it?
That's a great
Are
question.
you using a home phone or a public phone?
I mean, we didn't really sort that out before the call. I would say we probably went to a public phone, like we're not gonna...
Yeah, backtrack super.
The phone rings.
I'll pick it up. Guten Tag.
You hear similar heavy breathing to what you heard on the other side of the phone.
Hello?
And after a few moments, they just hang up.
Great. Cool.
So, how'd it go this time?
Worse, strangely.
Yeah.
Anybody else concerned?
The phone rings.
I'll pick it
Yeah,
up this
no, I'm
time.
not okay with this.
I won't say anything.
You breathe heavy back. Alpha move.
You hear a distant cackle. A male's voice. And then footsteps as if they are walking toward the receiver. And then you hear them say, "Just give it back." And they hang up.
Hello?
Ma'am, this is
Would you relay all of this? Yeah. Would you relay all of this to us?
Yes, I relay it. Sounds like he's having some sort of manic episode.
Is there somebody there and he's calling us to
The phone
come
rings.
save him? Dottie picks it up. Hello.
You hear heavy breathing. And then you hear whispers of someone just constantly repeating, "Give it back.
Nice.
Give it back. 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 Give it back."
Come take it.
There's a pause, and you kind of think you might hear meowing on the other end.
Oh, no.
And then you hear laughter, and it hangs up gently.
Oh, no.
So, how'd it go this time?
We should
Worse.
go.
So you would have heard her say, "Come take it."
Yeah.
And you guys would have
And
been
all
like,
of us cringe.
and she would have been like, different.
Should we be worried?
Yeah.
Okay.
When in our lives should we not be worried?
Have we...
A young man kind of approaches. Are you finished with the phone?
This sounds haunted.
We thought we were, but we keep getting called back. Do you mind waiting just a few minutes?
Calls back.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Not how these phones work.
Elaborate, please.
This is a new one.
Well, I mean, nobody just calls a public phone. You call from a public phone. This phone doesn't even have a number.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Are you sure you're all right? Little too excited from last night's festivities?
Now
maybe?
we're fucked.
I just need to call a friend to pick me
Right.
up. Just
Sorry. Go
Yeah.
right ahead.
And the man picks up the phone and, after a few moments, kind of hangs up, confused, and says, "Apparently, this phone's out of order." And
Told
just
you it
walks
was
away.
haunted. Question. Have any of us noticed any strange, odd books we don't recognize in our homes? Is this maybe something we should go investigate?
Did we take a book? At some
Roll
point?
me spot hidden.
Negative.
Positive.
Negative.
Eagle.
You suddenly notice the wire is
The phone is not
is
connected.
frayed than it wasn't before.
Oops.
Can I try to patch it?
When you grab it, it actually kind of crumbles. Like it sort of like the phone wire really shouldn't be working at all.
Right. I make sure everyone else sees that.
You can roll
Shrug my
sand.
shoulders.
Damn it.
This is rude that you keep making us roll sand.
Pass.
Told you this one is brutal.
I passed it.
Odd one.
Ooh.
Did not.
Nothing for a success.
Did not.
A D2 for a failure.
Nice. I'm going to take it.
That's fine. Let's make sure that you don't hit that 1/5 mark within the day.
I should probably
I think that's
figure
right. It is
out what
1/5, right? I think that's
is.
Which my 1/5 would have gone up because my sand went up. So.
That is true. Yeah, make sure that your 5th does go up.
So we got Krieg's number from them. So we know we were calling Krieg's number. We just don't know if it actually went through to Krieg. If someone was
Correct.
doing something witchy with the
You have no
the phone.
idea who you spoke to or who continued to call from a phone that shouldn't even be working.
What's your sand?
So, I say, as a scientific experiment, we go to the pub across the street and try to call the same number because this is odd.
Have a pint and wait for this all to blow over.
Sounds good. Nothing can attack us in a bar.
I say let's leave Germany. How about we go to Switzerland or like I don't know, the
Denmark.
U.S., Canada, maybe. I'm thinking Brazil looks really good this time of year.
Isn't Brazil where a lot of Nazis
Yeah, I was
ended
about to
up?
say, it's all
we'll
the
have
Nazis
good
show up.
company.
That's where they went after the war. You would have had years to get out of there before then.
Not sure Brazil has the sense of stability I'm looking for.
Neither will Germany in about 3 years.
So where to?
The U.S., New York.
End of game.
And I'm done.
Library.
You meet a man who sends you to Peru for some reason, and then like
Mask
Peru has
starts.
lots of llamas.
That'd be actually really fun. This like bleeds into masks.
I can't remember.
that would be
I can't
real
remember what
fun.
year masks started. I think it was 26 or 27.
Yeah.
So it's way past that.
I still think we should go to our individual apartments and see if we can find something that looks like it's been stolen from a library.
Sure. You can roll spot
Do we
hidden
go
on your apartment.
individually to our apartments and then meet back up, or do we go as a
We
pack?
should probably roll as a pack.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those things are good at picking us off, apparently.
Yeah.
You go to each apartment, and you find nothing out of the ordinary.
All right, so there's nothing for us to give back.
Whose apartment are you in at this point?
Let's say.
Here, let's roll and see who's the furthest away. So the one with the lowest score is the furthest away.
Sure.
And that's the last one we went to.
Roll a die. Have fun.
22.
59.
44.
36.
So
We're at my apartment.
you're in Adelaide's apartment.
Which is more like a manor, let's be
Yeah,
honest.
I was going to say, which makes sense because
this
she
point,
would
it's
be
about
living
early-
with you poor people.
At this point, it's about early evening. At this point, it's about early evening, and there's a knock at your door.
Oh,
Were you expecting somebody?
Nope.
Well,
I will go to the door.
I pull out my gun.
I was about to say,
no. I wouldn't pull it out because if it's the police, you don't want to have an illegal gun. Just
I'll
sitting
arrest
there.
them.
So I would just have it like ready.
Citizens arrest.
I'll just have it. Yeah.
yeah,
They
and
have it ready.
That's a great idea, and I'll actually kind of go into another room and just kind of.
Do you do the thing from Godfather 2 where you just point it right at head level until they make sure they walk in?
Sure.
Behind the door.
And then they walk away and you steal the carpet anyway.
I will look through the peephole before I open the door.
You see a blonde woman.
I will open the door.
Do we know any blonde women?
Other than yourself, probably not.
I try to avoid them.
Can I help you?
Dottie's not blonde.
The woman looks up and says, I believe you have something of mine.
That seems highly unlikely.
Question. Does she have all of her fingers?
Yeah.
Okay.
She says, my name is
good thought.
Lena Desmond. I'm a newspaper reporter. Mm-hmm. I believe one of your friends has a folder that I dropped. Somewhere near Luna Park. You have to know by now that you're probably in grave danger, and I can help you.
And why should we
Why-
trust you?
Roll psychology.
Okay.
Dottie's just like,
I have high psychology. Can I roll 2?
Sure.
I'm going to spend 2.
Okay. With a success, she's dead serious.
I thought she was brunette when I saw her.
Weird that.
Come in.
She steps in.
hey, you might want to make note of that.
She closes the door and locks it behind her.
I don't like.
Is it the same face of the woman that I bumped into?
No, not at all.
Okay.
I'm still in the other room watching.
Hey, you want to point that out?
Yeah.
She says, so you ask her about her parents?
So, what proof do you have that this is your folder?
Well, hold on. Did we even? We didn't even acknowledge that we have the folder. We just invited her in.
Yeah.
She said
So-
that one of you probably has the folder, right?
Right, but we didn't
She
acknowledge
spats
that we
off
have
everything in the folder.
it. That's fine.
And you were did you drop this?
I did. When I bumped into you, I believe.
No.
See, I remember bumping into a woman, but it was not you.
Oh, it was. She says, this is one of the ways I think I can help you. I know of a man who, for a price, can change your face, no questions asked.
What's the price?
Face!
That would be a discussion with him.
So it's not a monetary one.
She just shrugs. So if you missed that, Spencer, this young lady literally said that she knows a man who can change your face.
That's not freaky.
She says his name is Aleister Crowley.
Yeah, nope, don't like.
Have you met with him before?
A few times.
Change your face.
Well, that's true.
So,
She'll even give you the number, and it will match the number that's on the back of the card.
So what price did you have to pay?
Depends on the extent of the work.
I'm curious. The materials you listed as being in your folder, how did you come into possession of them?
As I said, I'm a reporter.
Yes, agreed, but the materials inside the folder include us, and we have no memory of them. So
She
how
kind of
did you
furrows
get
her
them?
brow at that, and then looks down at the photograph and looks at all of you and says, well, that makes no sense. I mean, you're clearly in this photograph.
Well, you did say that you know a man who can change your face.
Oh.
Well, that is a fair point. I once knew a man who made people out of dolls as well.
We met him.
Yeah, we met him, yeah.
Interesting. Rumor has it he's wanting to reopen his shop.
Really?
Yeah, it's probably not
He
gonna...
didn't seem like in a good place the last time we saw him.
No, we should probably take care of that.
You are all in danger. This dossier, I don't want to use the word cursed, because that's not quite right. Perhaps it's marked.
Aye.
A coven.
I would argue that a covenant has to be willingly entered.
A coven?
A coven.
Oh, a coven. Excuse me. Apologies.
There has been a lot of witchcraft about in Berlin recently. You see these witches, they pull the strings of the police and the judiciary. They operate through a variety of ringverein and sell drugs and traffic and sex slavery. The Nazis here in Berlin are completely under their thumb, either indirectly or like Goebbels, or directly like Count Heldorf and his SA men. In fact, they, being the Nazis, do much of their recruiting through the Salon Kitty. It's a brothel.
I'm sorry, did you say kitty?
I did.
As in meow?
Yes.
Cat? Meow.
Correct. It's a high
Lottie
class.
will look at all three of you and be like,
Salon Kitty is a high class whorehouse in Geisbrickstrasse. The SA men go there quite often.
So, viewing this dossier makes you a target of this coven?
This seems to be the correct way of thinking.
And you just so happen to bump into me, drop it in front of me.
It was not my intention.
How should we believe you?
Yeah,
So
the
she just
likelihood of
shrugs.
you dropping this in front of someone who has experience with similar
Who's
matters.
literally pictured in the photograph in the dossier.
I was trailing you. I recognized your faces from the photo. I'm just trying to figure out how you figure into the mystery. Where the photo was taken, why you were there. The fact that you don't remember it is astonishing.
How did you get the dossier?
Over time, through investigation.
So you compiled it.
Yes.
What was your first piece? What set you on this path?
Intrigue, mostly. A witch cult in Berlin is a very intriguing piece to write about.
But I guess what did you first pick up on? Like, what was your first clue? Your first piece in the dossier?
Was it the murder?
She flips through some of the pieces of the folder and she says, I believe it was this 8x10 here. The image of the large 8x10 that you have.
Oh, okay.
That's
She
just
says
a
this is
picture of what's her face?
Agnes Esterhazy, Countess Agnes
Yeah.
Esterhazy. Yes, she's definitely one of the coven leaders, I believe.
Oh,
See, this witch cult worships Hecate, triple-headed goddess of witches.
she's my favorite. Adalaide doesn't say that.
Amy says that.
Amy says that.
Sad part is Esterhazy hasn't been seen by anyone in over a year. Through investigation, I've come across the strip of film. It's a piece from the Student of Prague. I believe it was released somewhere in 26, 27 perhaps. Starred Esterhazy. There seems to be some sort of connection between Esterhazy and another film producer by the name of Baron Granau. And yes, that's a name you guys have heard before.
Yeah.
Was he involved with?
He was in the last session, I think.
Yeah, what's her face?
Do what? Sorry.
With,
Berber.
You guys can't ask
You guys
me to remember
actually
any
never met
specifics.
Baron Granau. You heard the name a few
Right,
times, but
but
you've never met
didn't
him.
we hear him through Berber?
You've heard of Baron Granau. You've never met him. And that might have been through Berber, I don't recall. It might have also been through the guy who brought you to the cabaret at the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Because his name was also a G. She says, I saved the newspaper clipping because I heard rumors that the Necronomicon was the book stolen from the Prussian State Library.
Oh.
I haven't been able to confirm it, though.
do we know what the number?
Yeah, we've seen
Yeah.
it. We know who has
We
it.
tried to fight someone over
No,
it.
that's right.
Interesting.
Fucking,
Wait, we're not saying this out loud to her.
no.
I still don't trust her.
Didn't I threaten to burn it or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we almost got
Yeah,
our
you got very
asses handed
scared
to
and
us.
had to leave. Remember?
Gregor Gorovich.
Yeah, there we go.
I knew it was a G. Sorry, it was throwing me off. That was just in my head.
Yeah, but he had the Necronomicon, which was the book that was stolen.
Are you telling her this? Like, what are you...
No,
No.
we're thinking it through.
Okay.
So was it given to him? Did he take it into his possession, or is he the one who stole it?
These are all questions.
That I'm posing for the people who are taking notes.
So, Dottie would kindly look at the lady and say, do you have any leads of who stole the Necronomicon?
Nothing.
So, no leads at all. Nothing. No
Whoever
suspicions.
did it very swiftly and quietly, and there seemed to be no leads.
I wouldn't say quietly. They murdered someone.
Well, that is true. But unfortunately, that person cannot give us the answer now, can they?
Or can they?
I was just going to say
You
that.
get 5 questions, and then they die again. That was her explanation of the newspaper clipping.
The picture where we are featured, do you know where that was taken?
No, that's one of the questions I'm having. I don't even remember where I got the photo. I mean, obviously I recognize the photo, but I can't for the life remember place where I acquired it from.
Wonder
or
if
from
the
him.
photo has some ability to like place someone under, not like place them under amnesia, but to cause amnesia, which is why we might not have remembered being in it, and she might not remember. This is Adalaide talking out loud about amnesia.
That's a interesting concept, but I guess we'll never know. Obviously, the four of you are in this. The man on all fours, I believe, is an investigator. Krieg.
Have you been able to touch base with him?
No,
Question him at all?
not at all. As I said, the coven is the coven has the police under their thumb, so perhaps you should steer clear.
Oops.
What do you mean, oops?
We may have inquired after Inspector Krieg.
It's a shame I didn't show up earlier.
And they gave us a number to call. And
It was haunted.
it was an otherworldly experience, the phone call. And I'll explain.
Witchcraft, no doubt. Yeah, you explain the whole ordeal. She's just kind of like, she's shocked.
Did we tell her about the cat?
We haven't yet.
We haven't yet.
She says, I believe he is working with them. I'm not sure in what capacity. So while that was not a dumb move to reach out to someone who you see in a photograph, you're lucky that he was not there.
Is he dangerous?
I think he can be.
How long has he been dangerous?
Though that I'm not sure.
Because we worked with him in a case in 24?
Roughly.
22?
22, I think.
And
she pulls out a pad and starts writing.
And didn't seem to be anything amiss at that time.
Interesting. Do you remember the case? No, I'm sure
It
you
was
guys
just,
can.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll skip all this. but
serial
yeah, I'm sure you
killer,
can.
prostitutes.
Oh, Grossman, wasn't it? Yes, I remember that. I
It was
remember
very
that.
gross, man.
I believe they found bodies for days.
Yes.
Bodies for days.
Well, anyway, the four of you, of course, Krieg. This is an actress by the name of Margot Leon. Von Heldorf, right here. Very scary man. Again, working with the coven through his SA men, I believe, through the Nazi party. The man who is standing here with the strangely bulging eyes
Very strange.
calls himself a mystic. Erik Johannesson.
How you spell that last name?
Hanussen.
You said a mystic?
Yeah, he performs seances. I've never attended, but apparently it's a party of sorts each time.
Pause.
Sure.
Do we trust her?
That's my thing. She keeps talking about this person being part of the coven. Yeah, she had this dossier. But how do we know she's not part of the coven and she's just trying to...
Per your psychology role, you at least believe everything she's saying.
Right.
We believe that she is truthful.
Curious.
Correct.
Yeah.
She's curious. She wants to know things. She does think that we're in danger, which clearly we already know that.
She also said she can help you.
I feel like there's something else here, though. Like, you don't get this deep into something just because it's
and
interesting.
not know where you got the picture.
Yeah.
No. These are things, no. Dottie is not trusting.
Unless
She trusts 3 people in this world because the 4th one died.
Oh.
And even then, sometimes she has questions.
She says,
Sorry, back in.
this is, the film strip was a bit odd too. It just sort of showed up through my mail slot in a wax envelope. I have no idea who sent it.
That makes sense. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, we've had things like that happen.
We've had things show up, so I'm not afraid of that. My whole thing is her going, I don't know where the picture came from.
I can only assume that somebody in the coven has heard about my investigation. I've kind of been on the run ever since.
So, what kind of precautions do you need to take in order to stay out of the coven's clutches? And is there something that we should be doing differently?
Keep your head on a swivel.
Yep, check.
We're like regular owls.
I'd
Yeah.
like to speak with Mr. Crawley.
Well, you have his number.
Anything we should consider when speaking with Mr. Crowley?
He's a very particular man. Very strange, a little dark. To be honest, his level of occult knowledge is astounding, and he will happily bleed your ears with everything he can about it.
And he's very sexy.
What?
I'm not quite sure that's the case.
I don't think so. He kind of looks like an egg.
He looks like a goblin to me, but
kidding.
Gross.
I mean, maybe back then he was hot.
gross.
I mean,
And,
I know
who-
he thinks he's sexy.
Yeah.
Crowley, I want to go meet Yates.
Fair.
I mean, he did spend like a month in the woods trying to do some sort of sexual
Well, he was
ritual
in his
in order
castle.
to cast a spell on a woman to marry him. So
Did it work?
I don't think it did. I think he gave up.
Who should we say put us in touch with him?
You can give him my name,
Which is...
Lena.
Lena Desmond.
Oh, yeah.
You're supposed to be taking notes.
I took notes, but it's on the other page, and I forget once I turn the page.
This man is a
What's her
teacher,
last name?
everyone.
Desmond, Desmond.
That tracks. For teachers, that tracks. As soon as you're done with a lesson plan, you're done with it. Like, you don't even remember.
So it's like,
it
hey, I was
anymore.
absent. What did we do last class? I have no idea.
None.
Zero idea.
So do you guys would like? Are you gonna call Crowley then? Is that the case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After a few rings, you hear a gruff voice, and in German, but with a weird kind of British accent, not unlike your friend Charles. You hear someone say, "Yes, what is it?"
Oh, wait. Which one of us is talking to Crowley?
I'll do it.
Yeah.
The British man.
You can actually speak to him in English then, if that's the case.
Right. Mr. Crowley, we've heard lots about you, lots of good things, especially from Lena Desmond. And your occult knowledge is, well known, and we were wondering if you could aid us with a problem.
What problem?
A creature, identifying it, maybe understanding it. I would like to not speak of it too much over the phone, if that's amenable to you. We'd love to meet you, if possible. Drinks on us, of course.
I see.
That means drinks on me, by the way.
You can actually hear him like scratching his chin in the receiver and says, "Well, you piqued my interest." And he gives you an address on Bülowplatz. He says, "I'll see you in an hour."
Wonderful. Look forward to meeting you, sir.
And he hangs up.
Question: is he expecting one man or four of us? Because
I'm sure you would have
We
told
didn't
him that it's
specify.
fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
I did say us. So
You did say us.
expecting
Do we
more
need
than
to?
one.
Do we want to swing by and get the finger before we go to Mr. Crowley's house?
with a finger in the picture. Z.
Yeah.
You got an hour, so that's fine.
How close? I guess Berlin's very large, but just wondering how close the Invea bookstore is to where we are.
Austin. We're not allowed to go back there.
You wouldn't have time between.
He's not allowed to go back.
You wouldn't have time
there.
between.
Okay.
He was the one who had to be scared. We
I'm really good at disguising myself.
I mean, we were with
And we're
him
going to
when we
meet
got caught
Crowley,
trying
who's
to
going to
rob
help
the
us
shop.
as well.
Especially
he
since he
asked
lives in
us
a
to
train
leave,
yard.
but
Apparently,
this one
he
was the
knows.
one that was told never to come back.
That's fair.
Well, specifically if he ever sees him again.
That was the case, I believe. Yeah.
And didn't he die? The guy who said that to me?
I don't think so.
Gregor did not die.
Okay.
We kind of left it at that. Like, that
Yeah.
was the end of Gregor.
I just want to see if the bookstore's still there. Because the
It would be out. It would be
Necronomicon
out of your way, but you can go get the finger. That's fine, and you can make your way to Bülowplatz.
I think that idiot was part of the coven.
Probably.
Could he be one who started the coven?
He was part of the cult trying to raise a bijou.
Yeah.
Right. But you could have more than one.
You could have more than one
alliance.
hobby.
I don't know. I don't think your patron would appreciate it if you had another patron.
Fine.
Yeah, but after your patron dies or gets sent back to wherever the fuck they're from.
Shadow City. The address proves to be a very large movie house called Babylon Cinema.
Ooh, fancy.
And you all kind of pause for a moment, remembering that the last building you walked into together was a cinema that had become a sex house for the goddess. Just kind of gives you pause for a moment. It's actually a 5-story
here.
building.
Dottie carries contraceptive. You're welcome.
I have a gun.
It's also contraceptive.
I think I have laudanum.
We're all good.
We're set, guys.
What do you got there, Charles?
This
I
is
also got a gun.
This is a 5-story
Bang, bang.
building that is constructed in a rounded modernist style with a mustard yellow stucco exterior.
Pretty.
And after a few moments of standing around in the winter chill, watching the occasional flecks of snow drift down from the leaden sky, you see a man emerge. He is bald, gruff, kind of overweight.
Looks like Aleister Crowley.
Looks like Aleister Crowley as he lights a pipe, a tobacco pipe, and puffs. Says, "Nice place, eh? Chap who built it, name of Polzig."
Who? How you spell it?
Polzig, Poelzig. Polzig was a theatrical architect. He's been consulting with me on a recent film project, actually. Enough chit-chat. I believe you promised me dinner. Thank you for listening. Berlin the Wicked City was written by David Larkins with Mike Mason and Lynn Hardy. You can find us online at rancorsbrothel.com, Facebook at Fans of the Rancors Brothel, and Twitter at Rancors_Brothel.